Hello and welcome to the Business Standard Morning Show. My name is Ishan Gera and here are the stories for the day. Elon Musk finally entered the Twitter headquarters in San Francisco Thursday last week. He was wearing a beaming smile and holding a heavy porcelain sink. And just hours later, he closed the deal to purchase the social media giant. With this, he lives up to his reputation of pulling off difficult feats and crazy stunts. But there's always a method to Musk's madness. What is it? And how Twitter will transform under Musk the days to come? Our next report has the answer.
When Zimbabwe defeated Pakistan by 1 run to register their first Super 12 victory at the T20 World Cup, Zimbabwean president and Pakistan's prime minister engaged in some friendly Twitter banter over the match. Exchanges like these encapsulate the beauty of Twitter. This is where heads of governments joke, world leaders debate, politicians trade barbs, corporate bigwigs get closer to their customers, and activists mobilize. All of this is documented and brought to the mainstream by journalists, one of the most active user groups on Twitter. Yet, it is not the world's biggest social network. It had 237 million daily active users and reported a net loss and a marginal decline in revenue in the April to June quarter. Its user base is tiny relative to both Facebook and Instagram, which boast of global daily active users just short of 2 billion each. The platform's third most followed person has turned its owner now after 6 months of public and legal wrangling over the $44 billion acquisition deal. Elon Musk, who is also the CEO of car maker Tesla and rocket company SpaceX, described Twitter as the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Soon after taking over, the world's richest man reportedly fired CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Segal, and Legal Affairs and Policy Chief Vijaya Gadde. He accused them of misleading him and Twitter investors over the number of fake accounts on the platform. The 51-year-old eccentric billionaire has a net worth of $221.5 billion according to Forbes. The bird is freed, Musk tweeted a few hours later on Friday in reference to Twitter's logo. In response, a top European Union official warned Musk that Twitter should fly by the bloc's rules. The EU's Digital Services Act levies hefty fines on companies if they do not control illegal content. India's IT Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar too said that Twitter must comply with the country's existing and upcoming new IT rules, and Musk's takeover will not change that. Twitter is currently locked in a legal battle with the Indian government. It has challenged the IT Ministry's orders to remove content and block multiple accounts, arguing they were overbroad, arbitrary, and disproportionate, and failed to give notice to authors of the content.
There could be a contradiction of free speech if he reinstates, certain famous users who have got suspended. But that has two big implications. One, the extent of hate speech could jump dramatically. And two is that could make advertisers wary, right? Consumer good advertisers generally want a safe environment in a social media platform. Musk has other business interests. And therefore, being a private enterprise, I think pressures will come on him to kind of align with governments and with businesses. And we've seen many governments having, run-ins with Twitter. They can also tighten the screws on other parts of it, right? Which is another concern.
Ahead of the close of the deal, Musk said he wants Twitter to be the most respected advertising platform. This is coming from someone who once tweeted, "I hate advertising." In an open letter to advertisers, Musk said that Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. Musk has vowed to restore free speech on Twitter. The self-described free speech absolutist, however, also said he wants to prevent the platform from becoming an echo chamber for hate and division. Still, Musk reportedly intends to do away with permanent bans on users, potentially allowing people such as former US President Donald Trump and Bollywood actor Kangana Ranaut to rejoin. Trump was banned due to the risk of further incitement of violence following the storming of the US Capitol, while Ranaut was banned for repeatedly violating Twitter's rules on hateful conduct and abusive behavior. In an indication of the challenges ahead, Ranaut on Friday applauded Musk's takeover on Instagram and shared requests from fans to have her account restored. Among Musk's top priorities is eliminating spam bots and authenticating all humans on Twitter. He has always claimed that the number of spam accounts is bigger than what the company has stated. He had even threatened to walk away from the deal, citing the miscounting of spam accounts. Musk has promised to authenticate all humans on the platform. He had also suggested that Twitter's algorithm needs to be made open source to increase trust, as it was quite dangerous to have tweets be mysteriously promoted and demoted and have a black box algorithm. While Musk is trying to gain the trust of ad buyers with his latest communication, he wants to find new sources of revenue for Twitter. Ideas he brought up included charging a fee when a third-party website wants to quote or embed a tweet from verified individuals or organizations. He also suggested that Twitter could charge a small fee for commercial and government users. Ad sales account for more than 90% of Twitter's revenue currently. Musk has also spoken about his desire to transform Twitter into a super app called X, inspired by China's WeChat. He reportedly told investors that he plans to build an everything app that will sell premium subscription to reduce reliance on ads, allow content creators to make money, and enable payments.
The other, which seems a little crazy, is this whole concept that he's talking about, converting Twitter in a sense as a super app. I think that seems difficult because the China context happens in a market where, let's say, Facebook and Google and such like are not freely available. So in that sense, people tend to converge. A couple of positive signs. One is the fact that he's at least officially talked about, controlling or moderating hate speech to some extent. And the other is lowering dependence on advertising and, allowing paid users or monetizing the platform slightly more, sensibly. Yeah, I think monetizing a social media platform without advertising or with limited advertising is always going to be a challenge. And it'll never possibly go beyond that very top 1%.
Musk has provided little clarity over how he will achieve the ambitions he has outlined for Twitter, which have sometimes appeared far-fetched or contradictory. Just as Twitter's 7,500 employees are anxious about Musk's impending cost cuts at the company, millions of users are eager to witness changes, including new features that Musk will bring to the platform.
In December last year, Elon Musk had said that Metaverse was more like a marketing buzzword than a reality. But Mark Zuckerberg is trying hard to prove it otherwise. He's doubling down on his efforts to take Metaverse or Web3 to the next level, despite investor pessimism. But it is not just Zuckerberg. Metaverse is now getting many takers. People are buying land in it, and big brands like Nike have also jumped into this virtual world. So where does Metaverse stand now? And how it may change your shopping experience? Our next report has more.
The definition of metaverse is still evolving. As of now, it refers to real-time 3D virtual spaces where users can meet, create, socialize, work, buy goods and services, and attend events with other people who are not in the same physical space. A true metaverse is meant to perfectly replicate real life, although it is unclear how many more years it will take to develop. Earlier this month, Facebook owner Meta unveiled its $1,500 Quest Pro virtual and mixed reality headset. Aimed at working professionals, the headset will offer consumers a way to interact with virtual creations overlaid onto a full-color view of the physical world around them. The high-end device marks a milestone for CEO Mark Zuckerberg's pursuit to turn the social media giant into a company that operates a shared immersive computing experience known as the Metaverse. Meta has already spent more than $15 billion on Zuckerberg's vision. Zuckerberg said he expects the blending of the physical and digital worlds to give rise to new users for computing. Metaverse users are currently scattered across several platforms, such as Decentraland, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, and The Sandbox. The use cases for the technology range from gaming, remote work, fitness, and education to social media, shopping, entertainment, and tourism. According to a latest PwC Global Consumer Insights Pulse survey, The impact of virtual reality and the metaverse as a consumer channel is starting to be seen. Globally, almost one-third of consumers surveyed have used VR in the past 6 months. VR was most popular in China, India, and Qatar. Surprisingly, 32% of VR users said they have purchased products as a result of testing them or browsing in stores via VR, and 19% have used VR to purchase luxury goods. Consumers, particularly in the Gen Z and millennial segments, are increasingly turning to VR to do their shopping. McKinsey and Company estimates that annual global spending by consumers and businesses related to the metaverse could reach as much as $5 trillion by 2030. Some global companies have hired chief metaverse officers to exploit opportunities thrown up by this immersive internet experience. Fashion retailers are letting consumers try on thousands of garments virtually using avatars that match their measurements. Using augmented reality, furniture retailers enable customers to see how furnishings will look in their homes. Global brands like Gucci, Nike, Louis Vuitton have developed their own metaverse.
Metaverse is not just a hype or a buzzword. We are looking at organizations investing in getting products and services ready for Metaverse. Gartner believes by 2026, 30% of the organizations would have products and services ready for Metaverse. Whatever implementations we have right now is vendor specific, is very siloed, and it's in a walled garden kind of an approach. Now, many of the retailers are experimenting or piloting with metaverse inspired experiences. This is in order to enhance or improve customer experience or improve customer engagement. They have gamified versions for their fans so that they can engage their customer. Even for the kind of users who would be having virtual try-ons, they would be a more determined customer to buy the physical product. The kind of user who would be experimenting with this are folks who are more tech savvy. So if your digital avatar looks good into that fit of the product, the percentage of returns when you order it online goes down. Your logistics cost therefore goes down.
Walmart stepped into the metaverse last month with 2 virtual worlds on online gaming platform Roblox, targeting the next generation of shoppers. Nike too opened a virtual world modeled after its headquarters on Roblox, called Nike Land, in November 2021. The digital space allows players to outfit their avatar with special Nike products and play mini-games. To date, it has received over 21 million visitors. You can now also experience Metaverse on Flipkart. The Walmart-owned company recently piloted Flipverse, which is a metaverse space that can be accessed through Android app where consumers can discover and shop products. It offered gamified, interactive, and immersive experiences for consumers where they can collect the company's loyalty points and digital collectibles from partner brands. Amazon showcased the Amazon Meta World, a metaverse of digital experiences, in 5 Indian cities.
Say your customer's perspective, there's a lot of value that virtual reality, augmented reality, and metaverse concepts can bring in. The number of digitally influenced customers itself is rising. They end up researching online, they end up looking at product categories online, and they develop a point of view basis that across all category sets overall in general as well. The second part is within the customer sets itself, the customer need to get the whole perceptiveness angle, or the need to check out a multiple set of options, which is even more possible and well enabled in virtual unlimited shelf space environments like e-commerce or digital versus physical stores, and then try them on how they fit on either the individual shoppers in case of, let's say, beauty and personal care products, or fashion products like apparel, for example, try it on, fit it on and try and check it out, or even on homes, for example, in a case of a home furnishings category or home decor or furniture or paints and wall treatment as well. And the whole concept of perceptiveness is definitely on the rise as well. Over and beyond this, also the ability to share these looks or these appearances or how things are perceived with others through platforms like social media are in turn growing. But even customers who prefer to make the final buy offline, the first round of shortlisting could definitely happen online, right?
Investments in the virtual world can translate into gains in the real one. For example, Forever 21, which sells a virtual black beanie hat that can be purchased on the Roblox platform with its in-game currency, has also launched a physical version due to the interest in the product thanks to the concept of consumers twinning with their avatars. Metaverse opens new avenues for brands to engage consumers prioritizing convenience. With developments in AR and VR technologies and sensors, customer satisfaction is bound to go up as one gets a better sense of what they are purchasing with a 360-degree product experience. Elements of gaming and socializing can complement shopping experience to improve loyalty, while AI can help brands deliver personalized recommendations.
Wall Street is still not very keen on Zuckerberg's Metaverse project. Reality Labs, the unit working on Metaverse plans, has just reported a quarterly loss of $3.67 billion. But Zuckerberg seems unfazed. Back home in India, markets stayed in the green last week as investors cheered the new somewhat 2079. Frontline indices Nifty 50 and the S&P Sensex added over 1% each. This week, interest rate decisions by the US Federal Reserve and the Bank of England, along with global macro numbers, will affect market trends. Watch our next segment to know more.
Domestic equity markets clocked modest gains in the week gone by, amid quarterly earnings announcement and steady foreign flows. Frontline indices Nifty 50 and the S&P BSE Sensex added up to 1.2% in 4 trading sessions. They were supported by stock-specific movement across autos, banks, metals and tech. Broader markets were upbeat too in trade during the same period. The S&P BSE Mid-Cap and the S&P BSE Small-Cap indices logged a gain of 1% and 0.4% respectively. Going into this week, interest rate decisions by the US Federal Reserve and the Bank of England will guide markets' trajectory. According to a Reuters poll, analysts expect the global central banks to hike interest rates by 75 basis points each to rein persistent inflation. Markets on their part have already priced in the expected rate increases.
Both the US Federal Reserve and Bank of England are set to announce their interest rate decisions. The market expects both the US Federal Reserve and Bank of England to increase their benchmark rates by 75 bips or 75 basis points. This is what is currently priced in the market. There is a possibility that the Bank of England might surprise on the hawkish side and increase rates even further. But the current odds are that both these central banks will increase their benchmark rates by 75 bips. Some of the sectors which we like currently are capital goods sector, where we believe that the sector should benefit from the changing supply chain dynamics globally, with nearshoring or friendshoring being the next trigger, and thereby capacity shifting and new capacities getting created. Another sector which we continue to like and should do well also is banking, where we've seen that the ability of banks to increase rates is far better than NBFC. So you will see market share shifting towards bank from NBFC, while margins also to be better for banks. And the last sector which we continue to like is consumer discretionary names, including hospitality, which is benefiting from the near-term festive demand as well as pent-up demand over the last few years.
Back home, investors will track the Reserve Bank of India's additional meeting, which it has called on November 3rd. The MPC will deliberate on its response to the government, explaining why the target to retain retail inflation was missed for 3 consecutive quarters. Meanwhile, the ongoing results season will continue to take center stage. Companies like Tata Steel, Adani Ports, Nykaa, PNB, Sun Pharma, Tech Mahindra, Adani Transmission, Adani Enterprises, HDFC, Hero MotoCorp, Cipla, Titan, SBI and Bank of Baroda, among many others, will report the July-September quarter results this week. That apart, manufacturing and services PMI numbers from across the globe will be tracked too. On the technical front, charts suggest the S&P BSE Sensex can leap nearly 2,000 this week and attempt to reclaim 62,000 mark, with 59,000 acting as support. As regards Nifty, a close above 18,000 could trigger a next leg of rally towards 18,400 levels, with 17,600 acting as immediate support.
Can putting the images of deities on legal tenders help India attain economic prosperity? Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal believes so. He recently appealed to the government to start this practice with new currency notes. Not everyone agrees with him, of course. Both the Congress and the BJP have expressed their disagreement with this view. Even as political parties continue with the slugfest, we try to answer a different question. What visuals can the government use on the currency notes?
Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal has presented his plan to boost the Indian economy, and the plan can, at best, be called different. He wrote to the Government of India and asked for the images of Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Ganesha to be used alongside Mahatma Gandhi's on Indian currency notes. He argues that this can help bring economic prosperity to the country. But it has turned the spotlight on one important question. What visuals can be used on legal tenders in India? The question has become critical given India's constitutional status as a secular democracy. But what images can be used on currency notes? And who decides on the design of banknotes and coins? But before that, a brief look at the evolution of currency notes after independence. The first banknote issued by independent India was the 1 rupee note in 1949. The new banknotes had a symbol of the lion capital of Ashoka pillar at Sarnath in the watermark window in place of the portrait of King George. In 1969, Mahatma Gandhi first featured on Indian currency notes when a commemorative design series was issued in honor of the birth centenary celebrations of Mahatma Gandhi. Later in 1996, a completely new Mahatma Gandhi series was introduced with a changed watermark, windowed security thread, latent image, and intaglio features for the visually handicapped. There were also some notes with images of important sites and monuments in different series. Section 25 of the RBI Act says that the central government shall approve the design, form, and material of banknotes after considering the recommendations made by the Central Board of the Reserve Bank of India. This effectively means the RBI and the central government decide the changes in the design and form of banknotes. The RBI's Currency Management Department formulates a design and sends it to the Central Board for approval. The Central Board of RBI then recommends the design to the central government, and if it deems fit, the government clears the changes to the images or design of banknotes. There were reports earlier this year that the RBI might be considering using the images of Rabindranath Tagore and APJ Abdul Kalam alongside Mahatma Gandhi on the new series of currency notes. The central bank then clarified that there are no plans to replace the face of Mahatma Gandhi with that of others. The images on the currency notes represent the country's cultural significance and ethos. In 2010, a panel constituted by the Centre decided that no other personality could better represent the ethos of India better than Mahatma Gandhi.
I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.
According to the RBI, Sher Shah Suri issued a silver coin which was termed the rupiah. This was the precursor of the modern rupee, and it remained largely unchanged till the early 20th century. That's all for today. For more news and analysis, please log on to business-standard.com. We'll be back tomorrow with our next episode. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.